welcome back to my channel. Today I decided that I wanted to go ahead and play with the newest palette from Urban Decay. This is the Wild Greens palette, and if you guys are interested, just keep watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my channel. Today's video is the perfect example of why I started my channel, because when I first got on YouTube, I had the hardest time finding videos from people with my skin tone, so I decided to take matters into my own hands and start up a YouTube channel. I do post a lot of chatty get ready with me's, new makeup releases, will I buy type videos, as well as the monthly anti-hauls. So if you love content like that, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. So it's Sunday morning. I'm planning on filming, uploading, and editing all in the same day, but I planned out my day. I was so excited. I went ahead and went over to Kohl's, grabbed the KVD Good Apple concealer, and I totally forgot to use this today because I went ahead and muscle memoried my face on. So I'll have to try that tomorrow. And then I went over to Ulta and grabbed a bunch of stuff, and this palette was available in store, so I figured, let me just do it for the science. I was so curious about this palette because two of my friends, Heather and Angie, already have a video posted on this palette, and I haven't watched their videos because I wanted to have my own opinions, but they've been talking about this palette since Friday, and so I'm curious to see if this palette is tan girl friendly, because things don't always look the same as it does on their skin tone, on my skin tone. So I'm very, very curious. I will say that I swatched the palette, and I don't want to like give anything away, but the palette did not swatch very nicely. It was like very lightly pigmented, and so I'm a little bit scared, but let's go ahead and get into some of the close-ups of this palette as well as the swatches now. Okay, so the Wild Greens palette is 12 widely pigmented shades, from earthy neutrals to lush wild greens. It says this palette is a vegan formula with a hint of avocado oil. You're wild by nature. Get your daily dose of neutrals and greens with the Wild Greens eyeshadow palette. Our untamed take on color inspired by California wellness. Start each day with an optimistic high vibe blood orange metallic with gold pearl. Load up on the creamy super greens, soft mint green matte, turmeric rich orange red matte, and yes, kale olive green matte with a twist, shifty green metallic with gold pear, and the vegan formula, no animal derived ingredients, has a 24-month shelf life, and all of the other things are listed on the back. I thought that this palette was wilderness inspired, but from what I can tell, it's actually inspired by like smoothies and like wellness products, because it says kale, turmeric, like it sounds like they're saying like a smoothie kind of vibe. Like when they said California wellness, avocados, super greens, like those are all like buzzwords for California themed things. So I was thinking of the wrong theme. I was thinking because there's like snakes on the palette and stuff that it was inspired by the outdoors, but I think it's a little different than I thought. So there's 12 shades, 0.85 grams or 0.03 ounces. And yeah, the packaging is super cute. Okay, these swatches, I'm doing them before I film my look, and honestly, I have very little hope for this eyeshadow palette right now. I really hope it's more pigmented on my eyes, but we have the shade Chill, which is like the champagne brow bone shade. Lo-Fi, Kickback, Fuzz has a bit of a duochrome vibe, not too strong though. Then we have Turmeric, which I love that name, but turmeric is yellow, so I don't really know how they came up with the orange, but whatever. Then we have High Vibe. Earthside is like a cool tone brown. Super Greens is a very muted green shade. We have Prickly, which is a pretty green color. And then we have Twist, which is like a pewter green. And Kale is like the kind of, what do you call it? The poopy color green, but it's a little bit brighter swatched. And then Stash, which is the olive shade, and it's the darkest shade in the palette. So I did see a lot of people saying that they wish the darkest shade in the palette had been a matte, which is a, you know, good thing to point out, but let's put this on my eyes. Let's see. Just pray for me, you guys. I am excited to try the mascara. It says there's like 10.7 times more volume and 64% more lift. So we will test all of that out here next. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-ups. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the eye looks. I also did get the mascara, so I'm excited to try that. And I think I'm gonna do 2 different eye looks just so I can try out a lot of the shades. Like I said, I'm so nervous because it did not swatch very well, so I'm a little apprehensive, but this is what the palette looks like. It's so sleek. Like, my friends were saying how much they really like this packaging because it was so sleek, and I thought I knew what they meant, but it's even thinner than like what I thought. So that's really nice. That's a huge plus. And yeah, this opening is actually cute. Like, it's not horrible at all. And I know my friend Heather said this actually folds all the way back, so if you want to, you can like hold it like this, which is a nice deal. I also really like this sagey green color that they chose, so that is lovely. Now my eyes are prepped, so what I think I'm gonna do is something pretty typical. So I'm gonna do a neutral eye and a green eye just so we can see what the variety is. I know I saw a ton of inspiration looks on the Urban Decay social media pages, which I think is really nice because a lot of the times I feel like brands don't show enough inspo. So I did like that about this palette. Oh, and I was wondering if it magnetizes. It doesn't magnetize, but that's pretty nice. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the neutral look. So let's go into the shade Turmeric because I think that would be a crease color for me. And I'm just gonna throw that all over the crease. This is a pretty color. I like it. It's got like a very natural look to it. Let's say natural look to it, yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna go into the shade Kickback, which is like a dark brown. And of course, I'm gonna put that on the outer corner just to deepen it up. Okay, what is? That color is so like meh. So meh. That's all I got. It's meh. Okay, we're gonna use the shade Fuzz. I'm gonna give it a little spray with my MAC Fix Plus. Ooh, that's a pretty color. It's like a duochrome neutral with a ton of green shimmer. So it's really pretty. How cute is that? Just like very simple, easy eye look, okay? So now let's play with the greens on this eye. Okay, so I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 202 and I'm gonna go into the shade Kale, which is that olive shade. I love a good olive green. And then I'm just gonna grab a clean brush and go into the shade Chill so I can get the brow bone highlights out of the way. So I'm gonna put Chill on this eye as well as this eye. I'm just gonna use the same brush I used for Kickback and I'm gonna go into Stash, which is the metallic green shade. And I'm gonna attempt to pack that on to the outer corner. That shade is pretty. Oh my goodness, that's a pretty color. What? Okay, that's nice. At least that's a nice pigmented shade. And then I'm gonna go into the shade Prickly, which is like a minty shade, and I'm just gonna put that on the inner corner. This is a nice brush. I usually use this to blend, but it's actually doing a really good job of applying the metallic as well. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, now let me get a flat brush. Okay, I did get quite a bit of fallout, but that's fine. And then for the waterline, I actually want to use the Sephora collection eye pencil I grabbed. So these are newer and I wanted to get one because I was curious about the formula. I haven't heard anyone really talk about these, so I wanted to give it a go. And I bought this before Sephora collection was on sale. So if you didn't know, Sephora is offering a sale on Sephora collection items where if you buy 2 items, you get like 15%. If you buy 3, you get like, I don't know, I'll put the details on the screen just so you guys know. Oh, okay, there's a sharpener back here too. But I got this shade called Lime Green Matte. Obviously, this is like right up my alley. And I wanted to see if this was pigmented, so I'm gonna use it on both sides. Because the neutral shade I used on this side has a bunch of green shimmer in it. So I was curious to see how pigmented this was. I really need to add eyeliner to my no buy list though, because I have so many eyeliners and I really don't need to buy more. So I was tempted to buy more when the Sephora stuff was on sale, but I was like, nope, you don't need it. Just because it's on sale, you don't need to buy it. So there's a ton of green fallout on that side, but it is what it is. And then I just need a pencil brush. So I'm going to grab this one from the Melt Holiday Collection. And I'm going to put that shade Chill in the inner corner of both of these. This brush is so nice, this pencil brush. By the way, can I tell you guys a secret? I talked about this a little bit on my Instagram stories today. I didn't talk about it. I just posted one little thing saying that I'm getting something in PR tomorrow that I'm not even like sure how it's happening, but it happened and I'm so excited that I don't even want to spoil it until I have the PR in my hands, but I did get tracking, so I feel like it's gonna happen. But you guys, I am getting the Melt eye pencils in PR. They're sending them to me. I literally thought that somebody doxed me when I got the email, because I was like, what the heck? I was like, how did I literally thought that somebody was gonna come in my house and murder me and Freya. Then I was like, did my husband order this for me? I was like, what a random thing for him to buy me, because I didn't even ask him. Like sometimes if there's something launching that I want, I'll like ask him for it, but I didn't ask him for it, so I knew it wasn't him. And I was like, did I order it? Like, you know, sometimes you're like ordering stuff at like 3 a.m. Is that just me? Or do you guys do that too? Anyway, sometimes I order makeup at like 3 a.m. You know, when I wake up and I'm feeding Freya and I'm like playing on my phone while she's eating and I'm posting about new makeup releases that launched. So I was like, did I order this? I'm like, but it's not even available yet. Because I got the notification the day before they launched. And nope, it's PR, it's coming in PR. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was like, is this because I made that new makeup releases video and I titled it like Melt Owes Me Money or something? And I'm like, oh my gosh. But obviously they watched the part where I talked about it, because I wasn't like mean or anything. It was totally a joke. But I cannot wait, because like I said, I'm trying not to buy eye pencils, and I didn't have the greatest experience with Melt's eye pencils that I bought. So I'm so pumped that they're sending them to me. So like tomorrow, make sure you come back, because I will either have a video up with them or I will have a new makeup releases video up tomorrow. So we'll see. I don't know. I would ideally like to film with it, but sometimes depending on what time it comes, I might not be able to get a video up till the next day. So there's that whole spiel, but that was the big secret of like PR that I was like, what? Like, that's big. Like, there's like indie lists I'm on that I'm so proud of, but Melt, Urban Decay would be cool. Freaking Huda. I really want to be on Huda's PR list, ColourPop. Those are like the Sephora brands that I would just love to be on PR list for. So just the fact that I'm getting this one PR thing from Melt, I'm like dying. Like that's, anyway, okay, sorry, I'm going on a tangent. So eye look is pretty much done. Let's try out the mascara, but first I'm gonna spray my face. So do you guys do mascara before or after you spray your face? I like to spray my face before. That way when I close my eyes, the wet mascara doesn't get all over while I'm spraying my face. So that's a little trick in case you didn't know. But here is the new mascara. So this is the Wild Lash Vegan Plant-Powered Volumizing Mascara, 9.5 ml or 0.3 fluid ounces. I haven't bought an Urban Decay mascara in a long time, so I'm excited for this. It says, good for your lashes, made with ingredients from sources such as coconut, sunflower, avocado, cassava, colza, minerals, and grains. 10.7 times more volume, 64% more lift. Up to 16-hour wear, fluffy volume, and lift. Okay, those are some big claims. I will definitely keep you guys updated in an upcoming video, obviously, of how much I like these products. But yeah, those are some big claims for mascara. But I know that Urban Decay is pretty good at making good mascara. So I was very, very curious to try this. And I don't usually buy mascaras, but I figured let me try it, because honestly, like all my go-to mascaras have been kind of like a letdown recently. So I'm happy to try a new brush and a new formula. This is nice so far. I really like this brush because I like a good, like, it's got like a little dip in it, and so it looks like a little scoop, which I love because then I can do my lower lash line with it too. And it's nice when they make different shapes because then you can angle the brush. When it's one shape all around the brush, it's harder to get into the inside of your eye or the lower lash line without getting mascara everywhere. So I would turn it this way. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, so I did one coat on each side and it looks pretty good. I think I want to build it up, but I'm gonna wait for this one to dry, and in the meantime let's do a lip color. Okay, since we're doing like greens and I have a green shirt on, I'll probably throw on some green earrings. Let's use this shade from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is Mandy and it's like a poopy green shade, and like what other excuse would I have to wear it? So I'm going for it. You know, I know these are formulated to have a banana scent and it gets me every time. It smells so good. Okay, let's try another layer of this just to see. I would consider this an expensive mascara, so I'm glad I at least like it so far. I mean, I've only used it once, but I hate spending money on mascaras because I hate spending more than like $11 on a mascara, so I'm glad that this one is pretty nice at least so that my money isn't completely wasted. Okay, so far this mascara seems really nice. It's really separating my lashes. It's not too wet, so it's not like getting everywhere. And I really like the shape of the brush because it's allowing me to get really close to my waterline, which is so hard for me to do with other mascaras. Usually I get mascara everywhere, and this one not so bad, so that's nice. And I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera and I'll be right back to show you guys the completed look. Okay friends, so here is the completed look. I was gonna curl my hair, but I was lazy, so we've got like second day curled hair, okay? That is what we're dealing with today. And let me tell you really quick what else is on my face. So I did grab my go-to, of course. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. You'd think I know the name of this foundation by now because I've been wearing it every day since I got it, but I keep forgetting. And then, like I said, I use the NARS concealer instead of the Good Apple concealer, which I purposely bought to use and forgot. Mom life. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I just forgot. It is what it is. And then Juvia's Place brow gel in my brows. That's all I did today. And then I use this brush for the first time because my friends can't stop raving about this. This is the Sigma Sculpt brush F44 and this was sent to me. So nice. I do this thing, it's weird, I don't know why. I think it's because of how my mom raised me, but when I get something new, I get like really weird about it and I don't want to use it right away. And I've been looking at these brushes and I know like Heather and Angie have been saying how good these brushes are. And I'm like, why am I not using it? Just because it's new? Like, just use the damn brush. So I did use it today for bronzer. And my bronzer today was the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Tan. I also used my Charlotte Tilbury powder. Have I shown you guys the pan I have in this powder? I'm so proud of it. So I figured why not just use it up so I can get it out of my collection and replace it if I need to. We'll see. And then for blush today, I'm wearing the Tinkerbell blush in the shade Darling. And I did get a new face palette, which I'm not supposed to be buying face palettes, but honestly, I couldn't resist the Hello Kitty and Pixie face palette. And I've been waiting for this to come to Target, and I've been checking Target every day and it never came. So I ended up ordering this on the Pixie website. And honestly, I'm really excited for these shades to use as blush. But since I used the ColourPop one, because I forgot about this one too because it was hidden under like the piles of stuff on my desk. So I did use this highlighter. So I used these two shades as highlighter and it worked out really nicely. So very excited to have this palette and to continue trying it out for you guys. And then I already told you about the lip color. So yeah, that's everything that is on my face. And then these earrings are from Target. I don't think they're available anymore, but I thought they would go really well with this look. So that is everything as far as what else is on my face. Now let's talk about some comparisons because I did grab some eyeshadow palettes just to show you guys comparisons. I feel like there's a lot of channels and a lot of people on YouTube that are really into green eyeshadow. I consider myself a green eyeshadow connoisseur. I have a lot of green eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot of half neutral, half colorful green eyeshadow palettes. So instead of grabbing like every green eyeshadow palette I owned, I kind of tried to stick with the theme of like half neutral, half green, so I can show you guys. But honestly, while I was using this palette, I feel like my one kind of really good green and neutral palette recommendation that's like a quarter of the price of this one from Urban Decay is definitely the BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast. I feel like if you already have this palette, even if you love Urban Decay, honestly, this palette is dope. So I would say go for this one. And I don't know, I just feel like this one is like the ultimate half green, half neutral palette in my collection. So I just wanted to mention that. And then I have this one. This is the Killer Purr by Menagerie. This one's definitely more neutral, less green, but I just wanted to mention this one. I think is another really good like green and neutral palette. It's the KKW Camel palette. I feel so bad because this is the palette, or this was the last collection I think she launched before they got sold or whatever. I don't know what happened. I can't remember with KKW Beauty, but I wish more people had had a chance to pick this palette up. But I feel like a lot of you got really lucky and were able to grab it on sale. So there's that. And then another green and neutral palette is the Nomad Cosmetics National Parks palette. And I feel like this palette is so good that you definitely don't need the Urban Decay one if you like the National Parks palette. And then I grabbed, of course, one of my favorite palettes for greens is the Wilderness palette from Beauty Bay. And this one is like $15. And then there's some beautiful neutral shades down here. So these greens are excellent. And you guys know how much I love the Beauty Bay formula. So I wanted to mention that. Even though, like I said, we just found out that this palette is actually inspired by like the greens in your smoothies, not the greens in the Wilderness. It's a whole mess. I don't get it. It's like two different themes because the packaging definitely reminds me of like the Garden of Eden, but then it said it's California lifestyle based inspiration. So riddle me that. And then I of course had to grab one of my newer green palettes. This is the Poison Ivy palette from Milan Row and Doodles by the Muddy. And this palette has a really good formula. So if you already have that, I would say stick to it. Okay, so based off of what I was saying while I was doing comparisons, I feel like you guys might have an idea of what I'm going to say about this palette. Now, I don't hate the eye looks I have on. They're perfectly fine eye looks, but for the standard of green eyeshadows that I have in my collection, for what I like, I feel like this palette is a dud. Like the eyeshadows you saw in the swatches, they weren't very saturated, which I love a good saturated eyeshadow, even when it comes to my mattes. And I like that they have like a bit of almost like a dimethicone feel to it. These ones definitely feel more dry. I have a feeling that I'm going to end up with the same situation I did with the Naked Cyber palette, where by the end of the evening, I'm not going to have any of those sparkly shadows on my eye. I will, like I said, keep you guys updated in a future video, or maybe I'll add a pinned comment later in the day. But yeah, overall, I feel like Urban Decay's quality is almost going down. Like, I haven't used an Urban Decay palette in a while, but I feel like back in the day, like Urban Decay was one of my favorite brands. I had so many palettes from them, from, you know, the Naked palettes to some of those big Vice palettes that they did, and like just so many cool things. So I feel like this is called the Wild Greens palette, but Urban Decay used to be way edgier than this. So I feel like the Wild is like, I feel like it's a stretch. Like, I feel like they should just call this the Greens palette and called it good. But I know Urban Decay is capable of doing better green eyeshadows than this. So I'm a little bit disappointed, and I feel like $44 isn't horrible, but a lot of these palettes that I showed you aren't even that price. I know for sure the Avocado Toast palette does not cost $44, This palette does not cost $44 and it's amazing, amazing shades and so much more than just greens and browns. So overall, I feel like this palette just is not my favorite, and I'm just letting you guys know that if you have an eyeshadow palette collection like mine, or if you have some of these palettes, try and play with the palettes you have and just forget about this one because it's not very good. It's not very good. So that's my first impression on this palette. I will say I do like the mascara. Obviously, this is my first time using it, so I can't tell you guys too much about it, but I'm very excited to continue trying this. I can definitely say that I'm happy I spent the money on this one. I'm not very happy that I spend my hard-earned money on this palette because it's kind of hot garbage, and I did ask you guys on my Instagram stories and my YouTube channel if I should film with this, and I feel like I got half and half on the votes, so that's why I decided to go ahead and buy it because I was very curious. I feel like there was like a positive vibe to this palette, so I was excited to try it, but honestly, as far as whether it's tan girl friendly, I feel like it's just okay. I could do these same eye looks and have them look way more vibrant with these other palettes I showed you guys. Obviously, that's just my opinion. I know some people love muted looks like this, and that's totally okay. We just have different styles, and that's fine. That's the beauty of makeup, but that is everything I wanted to cover with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments because I love chatting to you there, and I will see you in a new video tomorrow. Bye, guys.